Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Got the day off today, so I'm just chilling at home this morning, just hanging out, getting ready to go out for a little while today. Anyway, going to my pop's house, get some stuff moved out of his house. He's moving down to Ocean City, Maryland. So he's retiring down to the beach. So it's pretty cool, I guess. It's a couple hours from here, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's gonna suck not having him around. But anyway, I'm gonna head out there later, but I just wanted to wrap on here. I was kind of bored, so I figured I'd hop on, see who was on. Just bullshit and yap and um, talk some bullshit about what happened on Monday. Tom Petty and the shooting and some records and got a couple magazines in the mail anyway. Uh, I got the new issue of Video Scope. They do a nice uh, tribute to George Romero in here. I love this magazine. I don't know if anybody else out there. I never see anybody hold it up or anything, but it does a lot of the horror and sci-fi and the weird shit. But I have a subscription to it. Also picked up a brand new Viva La Rock with the Sex Pistols. I dig this magazine a lot, so it's got a cool Dead Boys article in it, but I'll show more in my next magazine haul. But that's it. That's the only thing I got that's new. I got the new LA Guns record. That was really good. I listened to it again this morning. I did a review of it yesterday. Um, but the second spin, I liked it a lot. I can't wait to get it on vinyl. I want to hear it on vinyl. But so I have the new Darkness on the way too. I'll be doing a review of that. And there'll be a new review of Night of the Living Dead, the 50th anniversary um, Blu-ray that just came out. So then I did the Cult of Chucky one this weekend or last night. So I liked it. It wasn't great, but you know, it was a good time, good watch. Um, so I guess more came out about this shooter in Las Vegas, and I think I said that one of the Fox News had reported it was like some right wing fundamentalist or some shit like that, a religious fundamentalist. That obviously is not the case, which I've said I find very hard to believe. The guy's a multimillionaire, had a lot of money in the bank apparently. Um, if you could watch, if you see any interviews with his brother's floored by this whole thing. Like he just didn't see it coming. Um, so I'm sure, like you know, Fox News put their spin on it. CNN probably put their spin on it. I quit watching all those fucking channels anymore. I like watching PBS News and BBC News because they're kind of, especially BBC doesn't really have a dog in that fight, you know, with the whole Republican Democrat horse shit. Um, it's just got me. This whole shooting's got me thinking. Like this is a fucked up country we live in. It really is. I mean, if you do some you know research and check out what other countries have done over the years as far as banning assault rifles and you know making it even harder for people to buy guns legally. Uh, you know, there's always going to be people selling guns illegally, and apparently it's pretty fucking easy to get. I mean, this guy bought them all legally. Uh, like I said, he's a multimillionaire, so he had the money to buy the ammo and all that shit, and that stuff's not cheap. Um, I don't know. There's got to be something. Something's got to give here in the states. You see countries like even Canada. You know, for every shooting in Canada, I mean, for every it seems like 50 shootings in the United States, there's one in Canada, and they're right up north. It's literally 6 hours from me is Canada, or whatever it is, 7 hours. Um, I don't get it. I just don't get why guys need assault rifles legally when they buy them. I don't know if they have small dicks and they use that to make them feel powerful or more powerful than before. I have no idea. I have a handgun and a shotgun. Like I said, I don't even keep them in the house because I have kids. Um, they're at my father's house. But like I said, he's moving, so I have a feeling they're going to be in my house soon. Um, and I have locks for all of them, for both of them, trigger locks. Um, I just don't need that horse shit in the house with kids, with little kids. Um, I've always let my kids play with like Nerf guns and cap guns and all that shit. But even that, I might start pulling back on. Um, what's up, Andrew? How you doing, man? Um, I just think in the United States, as far as these gun laws go for these assault rifles, I get it, they're legal, everything, but something's got to give. I mean, this guy was affiliated with nobody, no religious affiliation, no political affiliation. He's just a normal dude, according to his brother. So now where do you go? You can't pin it on a religion or a brown person because the dude was pure white, or a Middle Eastern or a Muslim. So now what? It's a whole new face to terrorism here in the United States now. Now, what's the government going to do? I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to do nothing. They're not going to do a fucking thing here. Not one. The NRA lobbyists, they pay off these guys that want to vote against them or vote against gun laws, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm glad you live in Australia too. I really am. Andrew Bellina said, I'm glad I live in Australia. We have a strict gun laws, and unless you have a license, you can't own a gun. So basically, all the general public don't own a gun at all. Amen. I would even be for that here in the States, and I have two guns. Um, I don't have any. I have a handgun that I've had since I was 18, and I have a shotgun that I've had since I was, I think, 14 or 13. I got for my dad gave it to me for Christmas one year, and I've shot the shotgun twice. I'm 46 now. I've shot it twice since I got it. The handgun I took to a shooting range, and I've shot that maybe 3 times over the last 30 years. Yeah, Andrew in Australia. I wish we had those gun laws here. I mean, it's ridiculous. Um, It's so messed up here. That is the Bay. I just watched it again. I love that movie. I just watched it again over the weekend with my youngest son. Right on. Hey, I'm a huge horror fan as well. Yeah, the Bay was a lot of fun. That kind of came out of nowhere. When did it come out? Like 2010, something like that. And I ended up getting this like uh on on DVD maybe by accident. It was one of those things that I picked it up and it was like, oh, this kind of looks all right, and I watched it. It was either that or Netflix. I forget how it was, how I found it, but me and my wife watched it with my oldest son, and we were like, that fucking movie rocks, man. That's such a cool movie. So then, of course, here in the States, it's not available on Blu-ray. So I had to order it from the UK, which is killer. I order a lot of Blu-rays from the UK and from Australia, and I order a lot of stuff on Umbrella from Australia. I think they just released on Umbrella the Entity, um, which I gotta get my hands on because I know it's coming out like it either came out or it's coming out on Arrow Video here in the States, and their DVDs and I mean their Blu-rays are usually like $25 or higher. Like I got the Blob on Umbrella from Australia. It was like $5 or something like that. But here it was like I don't even think it's out here on Blu-ray actually. But the Entity's coming out on Arrow, or it has come out on Arrow, but that's like a $25 Blu-ray. So I'll be picking up the Arrow. I mean the Umbrella version. They released Dark Age too, huh? Really? Well, I'll definitely be ordering them through Amazon Australia if I can. I forget where I got because I got I don't know if they're down here. Yeah, I got these two from Umbrella, the Blob and the Reanimator one right before they released it on Arrow here in the States. And the only reason I ordered it on Arrow because it was like a limited box set and it had the comic in it and a second disc with a bunch of features. But I love that artwork. That artwork's killer. So I got these were like $11 plus shipping. So I got these two for like from Umbrella. I think it was Amazon Australia. Is there an Amazon Australia? I can't remember, but I got these two from a website for like less than $20. I will check out your channel for sure, man. Let me write it down because once I click off of this, it'll disappear if I don't go. Once I click off the live thing, Andrew. Yeah, I will. I'll check out your channel for sure, man. So yeah, I get a lot of stuff on the Umbrella thing that's not coming out here, or it's just way too expensive here. So, what was I gonna say? What was I saying? Yeah, the gun law. Anyway, back to the gun law thing. That's you could debate that here all day long because you have people that the Second Amendment that they'll stand behind that, and the Second Amendment for everybody that doesn't know or doesn't realize when they wrote the Second Amendment, a gun fired one bullet and it took a minute uh, to reload it. Now you can run off like 600 rounds a minute. Yeah, Cult of Chucky was good. It was great. It wasn't great. It was pretty good though. There was a lot of questions that I had. and I'm not going to spoil it for you now, but um, just a lot of weird shit in it. I thought it was shot way too clean. Like like I said, everything in the hospital is just pure white. And you'll see when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. When it comes to the horror slasher Chucky kind of film, it's gotta have some um, it's gotta have some darkness to it. Can't look so clean. I kind of think they went with that clean look because it's never really been done like that too much before. And I think they took a chance with it. And some people might love it. I didn't. But that's just being picky. Um, I really liked Curse of Chucky. I thought that was good. I thought that was really good because it kind of went back to that dark, early Child's Play thing. But the new one, not as good as Curse of Chucky, but it's like I said in my review, it's not the worst one in this franchise. So, um, and I look forward to another one if they do another one. I hope they keep doing them. They're fun. They're fun enough to watch. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jeepers Creepers 3. Amazon here just said that just posted that it's coming out December 26th on Blu-ray. So I look forward to seeing that one. And I can't wait to see Victor Crowley, the fourth Hatchet film. I haven't seen any release dates on that. I know they're doing like a traveling theater, hitting all the theaters now, but I really can't wait to see that one. I loved it. I loved all three of the Hatchet films. Yeah, Victor Crowley looks awesome. He was always awesome. Um, yeah, Andrew just said I can't wait for next year's Halloween. Me neither. I hope it's going to be a good one. And the way, from what I've been hearing from Danny McBride and John Carpenter, that they're trying to keep that mystique of the first one on this one. So I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be good. And like they're trying to get that iconic mask look back. And yeah, I did. I knew she's back as Laurie, so that's a good thing. I think. I know it's going to confuse a lot of people because H2O she was in the beginning of Resurrection, which not many people saw. I don't think that movie was a piece of shit. People believe she died during that at the beginning of that, but I think they're going from the end of part two, the original part two, and that's where they're just kind of doing away with all the shit in between. Um, yeah, it's going to be a sequel to part two, I think. So I guess, yeah. No, they're not going to worry about H2O. As far as I know. I mean, that's what I've read. That's what Danny McBride has said. Right on, man. Yeah, I'm going to be here for I'll be on for another few, 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. Yeah, ask away, man. You got it. Um, yeah, and the whole Tom Petty thing, man, really bummed me out this week, too. I don't know if you watched my Tom Petty video, but I was a big fan of his for years. I didn't love everything, but I liked a lot of it. But yeah, it's just a weird week, man. It's a weird week here in the States, anyway. Uh, with the shooting and everything, and Petty dying, and Trump being president. It's been a weird 2017. Uh, I like to give everybody a chance for the most part. Um, but Trump makes it harder for me to give. Every day when he opens his mouth or tweets something, it makes it harder for me to take the guy seriously. Which I've never done anyway, because I can't stand the guy. Even before, it has nothing to do with him being a president either. I just thought he was a douchebag before, but just a spoiled rich asshole. Got everything handed to him when he was a kid. Everyone knows the stories. There's these guys that get everything handed to them. They act like they can own you, almost. Uh, they act like they do own you for the most part. Like they just don't know any other way. And I know everybody takes shots at him, MSNBC, CNN, all the late night guys, but there's a reason. There's a reason why they take shots at him like that. He gives them all the fodder that they need to make him look like a bigger asshole than he is. I try not to fall into all that horse shit, but sometimes it's so easy to fall into it because everybody around you on TV or they're constantly pounding it into your head, whether they're right or not, And I try and watch everything, but I just can't do it anymore. Fox News always puts their spin on it, no matter what. Even watching after the shooting on Monday, watching Fox News was like getting teeth pulled. I mean, they did everything they possibly could to spin away from actually having gun control conversations in the United States and throwing the Second Amendment out there. And it's like, look, we get it. I get it. Some people may not get it, but what are you going to do? You have to do something, whether it's banning assault rifles or banning assault, semi-automatic or automatic weapons, or you have to do something at this point, or else this shit's just gonna keep happening. And I firmly believe it's gonna keep happening. There's no doubt in my mind that shit like this is gonna keep happening. Except this time, they can't pin it on anyone but an older white dude that had no affiliation to religion or politics. He was just a rich white dude, and nobody can figure out why this guy snapped and did what he did. And that's the biggest thing um, to me is like, now what do you do? So I think you have to have some kind of reasonable conversation and reasonable. You basically have to throw out the Second Amendment when you're having this conversation about assault rifles. You can't even bring it up. You know, you have to look at it without leaning on the Second Amendment. It's the only way anything's going to get done because you're going to have politicians and people in Congress that get stepped on, get their throats stepped on by the NRA because the NRA paid these fuckers to vote a certain way. And that's just the way it is here. The money talks, and all these guys have to basically stand up to the NRA and say, like, look, this is like, fuck you guys, man. Like, we got to do something. It's working everywhere else, so it has to work here. Sometimes it's hard to be proud to be an American citizen. I mean, sometimes it really is. Um, when you see shit like this happens and people turn on each other, um, and debates turn into arguments turn into, fights or whatever. I guess, I mean, a fight is an argument, but, you have, my family's a huge Italian family, so it's like not everybody in that family is going to agree. So when you start talking politics or gun control or whatever at a family function, you might as well just set up a UFC cage and let people go at it in there. That's what it turns into. I'm one that, like, I don't back down for my beliefs. And like I said, I can't change anybody's mind. Nobody can change my mind. Um, I don't know. It's just it's a weird time right now, and I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. I mean, let me know what y'all think. Leave a comment or whatever. But they can't even get along. The Republicans and Democrats can't even get along in Congress. You know, my whole thing would be like, all right, well, fuck both of you guys. Fuck both your parties. You don't deserve to be there. If you can't came up if you can't come up with some kind of solution together, then move on. Let somebody else in here that can do it to get shit done. Then you got El Duce, the president, tweeting out his stupid shit. That just makes him look like a bigger asshole. He needs to stop tweeting. Guy has no fucking class whatsoever. None whatsoever. It's just all about him. He gets butt hurt anytime anybody says anything negative about him. He's got to tweet it up. Tweet is, tweet up his fucking ass. Somebody needed to get his cell phone away from him. And Clinton Hillary wouldn't have been any better. It may, all this shit would have still happened if Hillary was in the president. We still would have got the hurricanes. We still would have had the shooting. I mean, I don't know, man. You can't, what's that old saying? You can't fix stupid. Both of them were idiots. Both of them were assholes in their own certain ways. But I don't know, man. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to get through this bullshit. But he's concentrating on the wall in Mexico on the border. Who gives a fuck? A lot of Republicans like to say that Obama started this whole racial war in the United States during his time in office, which is a crock of shit. Uh, I don't know, man. I have no idea. Well, anyway, move on from that shit. I'm tired of talking about it, really. Um, some cool stuff coming out next week on Blu-ray. Poughkeepsie tapes from Shout Factory, Scream Factory line. I want to check that out. That looks pretty good. And that's one of those long delayed films. I think it's over 10 years old. Um, I guess I've never seen it. I know it's been running the bootleg circuits for a long time, but it's finally getting an official release from Scream Factory, and then they're doing the what is it, Dawn of the Dead remake in a couple weeks with a ton of bonus features. I don't know if I'll get that one. And they're doing Land of the Dead too, not part two, but Land of the Dead also, um, with a bunch of bonus features on it and some. I think there's like a weird cut of it on there, something like that. So I might pick that one up. I haven't seen that in a long time, and I didn't love it, but I thought it was decent. I didn't. It was okay. Dennis Hopper's in it. John Leguizamo. So we'll see. It might be kind of cool to revisit that and look at watch all the bonus features, especially now that Romero passed away, um, which sucks because I know he had just announced about doing another Dead film. It seemed like 2 weeks before he died. I had no idea he was even sick, but apparently he had lung cancer. I don't know. Um, so there's that, and then there's quite a few other things coming out too. Let me see. Um, that look interesting. I don't know if you guys have heard of or seen a lot of this stuff, but Amityville: The Awakening's coming out November 14th. I want to see that. That looks good. That's been long delayed, probably like 6-8 months. Um, and they just announced the HMV over in England has a limited edition steelbook of the 2017's It available for pre-order. I can't order it here; it won't let me in the States. But I'm sure like Best Buy or Target will have a exclusive steelbook thing. If anybody saw that movie Kidnap with Holly Berry, let me know what you guys thought of that. If anybody saw that one, that looked interesting. That's coming out on Halloween. Baby Driver's out next week. I want to see that. Let's see. They're finally releasing Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which is part 4 on Blu-ray next week. So I'll be ordering that one because I had the box set, but I don't care about all the other films to own them on Blu-ray in the box set, and I sold the box set to my buddy of mine, and he really wanted it, and it was sold out at the time. So I'll stick with the DVDs until they release them individually. The Barn's coming out on October 24th on Blu-ray. I ordered the DVD. I think I did a review of it. The DVD direct from the movie company. I like that. That was decent for an independent film. I know that In Stains the Sands Red came out this week. It was like $14.99 on the website, and now it's back up to like $24 everywhere. So I would wait. If you're thinking about buying that one, I would wait till it drops back down to $14.99. Yeah, Poughkeepsie Tapes comes out next week. I look forward to that one. Land of the Dead's on Halloween, October 31st, and Dawn of the Dead's October 24th. All in Scream Factory. And I think the Children of the Corn on Arrow showed up this week too. That came out this week. Let me know if you guys think of that. I've been on the fence about picking that one up. I think that's it that I have right now. I'm actually just looking in my want list on Amazon. I try and that's how I keep track of all these releases. I just put them in my want list and say fuck it. If you guys haven't seen, I think I still have it down here because I kept it down. Uh, Umbrella in the Australia released the Night of the Living Dead remake with um, the Tom Savini film. That's out on Blu-ray, and I think this is all. It's Region B, but I think it's all region. You might need a Region B player. And then if you haven't seen this one yet, Tales of Halloween, this is really good. This is kind of like a companion to Trick or Treat. I thought. I figured since they're not getting Trick or Treat 2 anytime soon, this is a pretty good anthology film. But I would definitely check out the Night of the Living Dead on Umbrella because it's not available here. I think Twilight Time put it out a couple years ago. People were bitching that it looked like shit. Apparently, like there was some weird blue hue over it. But Vinyl Madness wants to know how many records I own. I think it's close to 8,000. It's in between 7 and 8,000. But I've been going through it. I've been purging a lot of shit lately, like common stuff that I have on CD or just stuff I'm not going to listen to anymore. Yeah, it's too many records. Way too many records. But I've been collecting. I'm 46, man. I've been collecting records honestly since I was 11, 12 years old, maybe even earlier. Andrew wants to know what my favorite or my top 5 thrash bands are. My favorite 5: Exodus, Testament. I love Overkill, Slayer, and then obviously I dig Megadeth and Metallica when they were thrash, but there's probably a couple other ones. Vinyl Madness wants to know: is there a record people wouldn't think you have in your collection? There's a lot of records in my collection, people. The weirdest thing I have is that people would probably freak out or like, why do you have that? Is man, let me think. I have a lot of Prince albums. I don't know, maybe stuff like Cool and the Gang and The Time, Mars Day and the Time, and I love the Commodores and uh, um, Stevie Wonder. See, a lot of my collection's metal, hard rock, but I also have a huge blues collection. I love blues, and I have a huge like '50s rock. I love Jerry Lee Lewis. I love Little Richard, Chuck Berry, uh, Elvis. I dig. I'm not a huge fan of Elvis, but I love some of his stuff. I love Rory Gallagher. Absolutely love Rory Gallagher. I just picked up the Taste stuff on CD not too long ago. I found it cheap just for to listen to in the car, but yeah, I dig Rory a lot. Right on. Yeah, I love Rory Gallagher. Definitely, I think a lot of kids today that play guitar have no idea who he is. And when they come in the shop, I constantly try and play shit for them if they're guitar players or whatever. But we can hardly keep his stuff in the shop. It's amazing how as soon as we get it in, it flies right out. Oh, right on. I'll check out your channel, man, for sure. Um, Andrew said his favorite top 5 uh, thrash bands are Testament, Death Angel. I love Death Angel. Exhumer, Slayer, and Overkill. Exhumer, I think I have one record. I'm not real familiar with them. I've seen their albums all over, but I just never. I probably have it and haven't listened to it in years. But yeah, I think Testament, as like Slayer, as they get older, they get a little better. Yeah, Rory Gallagher was definitely an amazing guitar player. Exhumer have only released four albums, but they're all old, right? They're all like 80s, or have they released anything recently? Exhumer. Yeah, Creator's definitely one of those bands. As they get older, they get better. Like Anthrax. The last two Anthrax records were amazing too. Two from the 80s and 2000. I'll definitely have to check out. I didn't know they had anything out, in the past few years, but I'll definitely look into it. That's Exhumer, by the way. A lot of my buddies have the Exhume, the early albums, I think, and I remember listening to the first or second record years ago. Really, Vinyl Madness just said his dad met Rory Gallagher 3 months before he died and walked around talking to him for 2 hours. That's awesome, man. And he has a signed album by him, dude. Cherish that record, brother. That's a cool record to have. Uh, yeah, I definitely. I mean, now you have me wanting to listen to Rory today. I got to go out in a little bit, so um, I'm gonna pop in the Taste album today. I think in the car. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's some interesting stuff coming out over the next few weeks. And I don't know how you guys feel about the new Metallica Master of Puppets box set that's coming out. I for one can't wait for it. Uh, One of my other videos, I said I didn't pick up Kill 'Em All box set or the Ride the Lightning box set, but the Master of Puppets one I'm definitely picking up. It's got like 10 discs in it, three albums, a cassette, big old photo book. Really, you didn't like Master of Puppets? That's my favorite Metallica record. You should revisit that record. I think it's a yeah, Hardwired was a great record, but no, you should definitely check out Master of Puppets again. I think that's their best album. I think Ride the Lightning's an amazing record as well, but I don't know. There was something about Master that I dug. Von Manus said the story his dad told him he was walking with him for and two other fans walked over trying to talk to Rory about Eric Clapton. This was the time Clapton wore a suit and wasn't really blues. Yeah, I remember those days. Andrew said he listened to Puppets the other day. He didn't like it. Hey, man, to each his own. All right, man. Andrew, thanks for popping in. Thanks for commenting. It was good talking to you. Um, you got to go to bed, and I got to get my day started. It's weird. It's funny. It's like 10 a.m. here. I don't know. What time is it there? All right, brother. Take it easy. But anyway, like I said, it's my dad told them both to fuck off and said, "You got the best guitarist in the world in front of you." That's true, man. I mean, Rory smoked Clapton. Clapton couldn't hold Rory's jockstrap. So it's 1 a.m. in Australia right now. Well, good night, man. You have a good night. That's a funny story, dude. Final Madness. His dad told him to fuck off. That's awesome. I think I did read something about that years ago, but I'm not sure about the Aerosmith thing. I'm not. I don't remember. But I'm a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan as well. I always thought he was an amazing guitar player for the '80s. Trying to think, man, who's some of my other. You asked me some of the weird records that I have that people wouldn't normally think that I have in my collection. I'm a big fan of like Dean Martin and Sinatra. I have a huge Sinatra and Dean Martin collection. But and Tony Bennett, and I just love that shit, especially in the winter. I don't know why. Like I guess because of the holidays, but it's just something about sitting on a cold night after work with a bourbon and soda and the fireplace going, listening to Sinatra or Dean or Bennett. He said there's a bootleg on YouTube. He was so good. He opened for Aerosmith in New York. The crowd kept chanting Rory, then bottled Aerosmith off. I could see that for sure. I've seen that happen before, like with other bands, but I could see that. You see, there was a time, and I know this is not like the same deal as far as music goes, but uh, I saw Dangerous Toys open for LA Guns um, in like '89, and Dangerous Toys just smoked. I mean, they were just so awesome, and it was the same deal. Like when LA Guns came on, people wanted Dangerous Toys back on. I love Johnny Winter. Yeah, I absolutely love. I'm more of a '70s guy when it comes to guitar players. I mean, I love Stevie Ray, but when it comes to like bluesy guitar players, I'm more of a '70s guy, like Johnny Winter and even like Rick Derringer and obviously Rory Gallagher and uh, what's his name from drawing a blank now. He was in Backstreet Crawler and oh shit, man, what was his name? Anyway, uh, yeah, Link Ray was cool. I like the records he did with Robert Gordon because they had that '50s sound to them. Um, what the hell was that guy's name from Backstreet Crawler? Paul Kossoff, another great un underrated guitar player. I mean, my boys are ACDC, Angus Young and Malcolm Young. Have always been my favorite guitar players. But they took a lot of what the old blues guys were doing in the '50s and '40s and '60s, and just amped it up, full bore. Man, I met Paul Rogers back. Shit, man, I met Paul Rogers. He's a little dude. I met him. It had to be in the early '80s, down on South Street in Philadelphia, and I was the only one of my buddies that recognized who he was. I didn't even know they were in town. I don't know if it was the firm was in town or if it was pre the firm stuff, but you're 14 and as tall as him. Yeah, he's a little dude, man, and you'll obviously at 14 you're gonna grow a lot taller than he was or he is. But I met Angus Young too. He's even smaller than Paul Rogers, if you can believe. Actually, him and Malcolm are small. They're little dudes. They're real little. I met them a couple of times back in the early '90s. I met them, and then again when um, Stiff Upper Lip came out. I don't have Instagram. I don't. Yeah, I don't use Instagram. Although I think I have an account, I just don't. I don't ever use it. Definitely send it to me if you find my. Yeah, I don't know if you have Facebook, but go into one of my other videos, the review videos, and click on my Facebook. You can send me pictures that way, man. Like if you have a Facebook account, just friend me on there. I'll friend you. And you can send me pictures. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see it. But anyway, look, guys, I got to take off. It's 10 o'clock. I got to go get a shower. I got to go help my pop move some stuff. But I'll be back on later, and there'll be some new reviews on later. I got two free $100 tickets and a meet and greet. Good, man, that's awesome. Especially for a young guy like you, dude. Love it now, you know what I mean? Because these guys aren't going to be around forever, dude. Obviously. Enjoy it. I did. I had so much fun when I was your age. I would go to shows with some older friends, or I'd go. My aunt's only 5 years older than me. She's more like my sister. She would take me to see Kiss when I was young in the '70s. AC/DC. I never got to see AC/DC with Bond, but Wishbone Ash, right on. You got Argus signed. That's awesome, man. But listen, man, that's awesome. Follow me on Facebook. Go on Facebook and friend me if you have a Facebook account, and I'll definitely friend you back. And then you can send me some of those pictures. That'd be awesome. But I got to take off right now. I have some new reviews coming. Vinyl Madness, thanks for chatting. I appreciate it. That was awesome. Yeah, definitely look me up on Facebook. Like I said, go into my reviews. One of my reviews, I have a link to my Facebook page. Just go and click it, and it takes you right to it, and friend me, and I'll friend you back. But anyway, that is it. Thanks for checking in, dude. I'll talk to you soon, and check out some new reviews I got coming. All right, man. Peace.